Guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and this is the latest horror movie news out of Cinemacon. Cinemacons a once-a-year thing that they put together, and they show a bunch of movie studios show off new movie trailers, things like that. Today we have I Know What You Did Last Summer to talk about. There's 28 Days Later to talk about, and there's a fraction of news even about Zach Cregger's Resident Evil Reboot. And also tonight at 7:30 PM Eastern, we are going to be live during the Warner Bros panel and presentation at Cinemacon. So if you want to hang out, catch the latest news, and watch us react to it in real time, make sure you're subscribed. And we're covering, by the way, all of the news coming out of Cinemacon, as we always cover all the horror movie news here on We Watched a Movie. So make sure you subscribe and have the bell click, otherwise YouTube will forget we exist and not tell you about it. Live tonight, 7:30 PM during the Warner Bros panel. Let's get into it. I Know What You Did Last Summer. First off, I'm so happy to hear what I'm hearing about this trailer that came out, because when you just hear about it, it sounds kind of poopy, to be honest with you. And the synopsis sounded pretty poopy, to be honest with you. Look, we know that Freddie Prinze Jr. is coming back, so we can run around like, what's wrong? You know, with that like fish out of water face he has. But Freddie Prinze Jr. is coming back. Jennifer Love Hewitt's coming back. We know about all that, and that they're going to focus on a new group of youngsters. But the synopsis sucks. It's like, it happened again. And then they were like, they found two old people who had happened to before too, and they helped them. And that's basically the synopsis, which means that basically Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt are just there to be like Google or the old weird lady lighting candles in every Blumhouse horror movie. You know, something bad happens to someone, they either go to the library and look at old slides, or they Google it, and then they get all the information they need. In this case, that's going to be Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. That sounds like a terrible synopsis. Not very thoughtful at all, and kind of made me worry that this is going to be a frozen chunk of poopy. However, the trailer doesn't sound that great, but when you hear people talk about how it played out, it sounds amazing. I know I'm not making any sense. In the trailer, what happens is one of the newer, younger characters goes to take a bath, and she puts her headphones in, and she's listening to meditation music, so she can't hear anything. Meanwhile, downstairs, her boyfriend is horrendously slaughtered by the Fisher Coat Masterman, whatever they call the Hookman. The Hookman Dan, Sally, with the hook. Come, on the kick drum. Danny, on the kick drum. Come. He kills him and slaughters him. Meanwhile, she goes to her friends. She's like, I wonder if, one of the characters asks, I wonder if this is punishment for what happened. And I just kind of wish at that point Ryan Felipe would kick in the door and be like, I told you to shut your fucking mouth about that. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. is like, stop, you know, like they did in Scary Movie. Anyway, Ryan Felipe's character's dead, so he's not coming back. However, I'm willing to bet we do see a Sarah Michelle Gellar cameo, like whether it's a flashback or book it. Book it, Dano. I bet it's in there. Anyways, yeah, they're all standing around talking about how, oh my God, what if somebody knows what we did? And then, the way it reads is that all of a sudden Freddie Prinze Jr. shows up and he's like, that's not the first time this has happened before here in Southport, you know, with his just confused face. And then all of a sudden Jennifer Love Hewitt shows up, Julie James, and she's like, let me ask you a question. Where were you last summer? Sounds so stupid. It does sound stupid, okay? However, what I hear about the trailer is that it's actually, our buddies at Joe Blow say that it's surprisingly gory, that the kills are. And over at Discussing Film, they say that this seems a little bit different than something like they did with even Scream and Halloween. Allegedly, the trailer is actually really exciting. It's surprisingly gory, and it seems sharper and meaner, kind of was what it's sounding like. And more serious, I think, is the vibe that I'm getting from people's reactions than what people had expected it to be. That could be the best news. That could be the greatest news, because let's be honest. I mean, looking back at the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, I love it, but I love it because of the nostalgia, the time, the actors at the time, the soundtrack, you know, hush, hush, hush. I'm sick, or that would have been like perfect probably. Anyways, great soundtrack. And but as a slasher movie, it's not that great. It doesn't have a lot of teeth to it. The sequel's actually the better slasher of the two movies. So yeah, I'm hoping if this thing has teeth and is actually kind of gnarly and mean, that's awesome. I hope we see the trailer ourselves sometime soon. That would be pretty rad. Moving on to Craig Zegger's Resident Evil reboot. Just a tiny little bit of news about this. They confirmed that the movie's happening, that he's doing it, and it says that the film will focus on one central protagonist going on a point A to B journey, slowly falling more into hellish territory, and it comes out in September of 2026. Now, if you're an old like me, you're hoping that we just really just strip away everything and simply tell the story like of the first game, the haunted house type of shit that they did there. It sounded like that might be a possibility that we get that up in our buttholes. So that'd be cool. Finally, 28 Days Later is a Sony film as well, 28 years later, and they showed a second trailer for that film, as well as pictures from the follow-up movie, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which again is definitely where I'm going to be taking your mother later, as always, after Olive Garden, because I'm a gentleman. However, they didn't show any new footage from Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta, who did the Candyman remake, but they did show a photo, and allegedly one of these photos shows an evil-looking Ralph Fiennes, who looks all fucked up and evil, apparently. And by the way, Ralph Fiennes is the stupidest spelled last name in the history of the world, so fuck him for that. Great actor, though. Great actor, but yeah, him being a villain and allegedly super crazy is going to be wild. The trailer apparently showed a lot of the stuff that we got from the first trailer, including the song in the background with, the boots keep me from going logical, or whatever the fuck it said. Yeah, apparently it shows that, more shots of people going on flashlights into these tunnels. Apparently it focuses a lot on Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, as far as him being a dad, teaching his kid the tricks of the trade, so to speak, and not a lot of new footage in that, but just more of the infected doing the crazy stuff. What I find interesting is this says, as the rhythm of the trailer intensifies, images of infected taking down military, survivors running down forest, and an old infected talking about Judgment Day as infected attack civilians. Like, am I missing something, or do the infected talk? Because that sounds fuckadoo. That sounds wild. So I don't know. Danny Boyle did say some things about the film, including the fact that Cillian Murphy will officially be in the new movies. However, he says you'll have to wait a while for it. So I don't know if he's maybe at the end of 28 years later. Maybe he's in the Bone Temple. I don't know. But he's going to be in there at some point. He also says that while 28 years later, Bone Temple comes out a year later, there is supposed to be a third film that he does not yet have financing for. So he's like, hey, go see this movie, and then hopefully I'll have something for you next year. So hopefully they get that financing, and it happens. But that's interesting. And that, my friends, is the news that we missed last night at Cinemacon. Again, we went and did a live stream last night, hoping to react to the news. Totally dingus dumb dick dingy head over here. I didn't realize that it was Pacific time because it's in Vegas. So we missed a lot of the news that was coming out. That's the recap of everything that happened last night. Tonight we have the times correct. Maybe we get a Superman trailer. It is Warner Bros. Maybe we get a Conjuring 4. Maybe go fuck yourself. I don't know. Anything could happen. So whatever happens tonight during CinemaCon, we will be live as it happens, breaking it down, talking about it, shooting the shit, and just having a blast talking about movies like we always do on this channel. Thank you guys for watching this. What'd you think about all this news? Do you think I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be good, or do you think it's going to suck? What do you think? I can't tell yet, but apparently the trailer's awesome. Love your fucking faces. See you guys tonight, 7:30 p.m. What are you going to do on October 31st?
What are you going to do on October 31st?
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover. Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you want to know about the darkness?
I said, goddamn.
Goddamn you, faggot!
I said, goddamn.
A lot of people don't know the darkness that goes inside their hearts.
I said, goddamn.